Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
And this is Critical Failure. So we're switching it up right now. We're going to be kind of uploading very different. I'm going to be doing one video between us with Mornicanus Tome of Foes, and then another video in the Kobold Press's Tome of Beasts. I don't know why I forgot that. I was thinking Tome of Foes. But this video is on the Dipsa, which I'm going to show Ed. Looks like a gigantic slug ooze.
Yeah.
If you can actually look at it very well. We're in the sun and I'm using my phone, which is dying. So it's very hard to actually see within this. Let me try to turn the brightness. Doing it up did not work, and turning it down just made it worse. So I'm gonna go into the lore here, and then Ed will bring you the stats. Anesthetic ooze. Many jungle clans believe the Dipsa is an eyeless snake, but is a tubular ooze with lethal poisonous bite. The Dipsa's venom has an anesthetic quality that allows the ooze to cling to creatures and slowly turn their innards to jelly without being noticed until the victim falls down dead. Once the poison's numbing property wears off, however, the victims report an agonizing sense of burning from the inside out. Tiny fangs. A Dipsa's undulating movement evokes that of a snake as much as its serpentine form, but close examination reveals that neither bones nor internal organs, only tiny fangs of the same color and substance as the rest of the body. Dipsa never exceeds 1 foot in length. Its coloration oscillates between sickly hues of yellow or green. Gelatinous eggs. Dipsas are hermaphroditic. Hermaphroditic. I'm not joking. Hermaphroditic. I think it was is how it's supposed to be said. Hermaphroditic. When two Dipsas breed, they leave behind 100 gelatinous eggs and a small puddle of highly acidic milk. A dozen become fertilized and survive long enough to hatch, after which they immediately devour the others.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucked. You want to go into this a little bit of stats right there?
Sure. It's a tiny ooze, unaligned, has a AC of 15, has 26 hit points, has a speed of 20 feet, a climb of 20 feet, a swim of 20 feet. So no matter where you are, it's going to get you.
Unless you're Genasi and you can swim faster than it.
It has a strength of 3, so -4. It has a dex of 17, +3. Con of 14, +2. Intelligence of 1, so -5. It's barely functioning.
Like me.
Has a wisdom of 6, -2, a charisma of 1, -5. And let me see. And its skills are, it has +7 stealth or a +9 in swamp terrain. This is the first time I've actually
heard of swamp terrain?
No, it's the first time I've seen where a skill gets boosted in a certain environment.
Yeah.
Which I think is a cool feature.
Kobold Press does do that every once in a while with its stuff. Some of them are actually really cool like that. I think there is this, fuck, I'm not sure if I did the video or not. There's this, it was the same creature that I was talking about. It's like this desert wanderer that gets a advantage. I believe it's advantage on certain checks based off of the desert that they're in. And I kind of changed it to where one's in a desert, one's in like the woods, one's in water. Like it just depends on, it's environmental. So I had it like that because it's based on how they died or where they died. So it's just like one's desert, one's in the woods, one's in water. You know, I figured that'd be really cool to kind of have. So that's how I kind of imagined Kobold Press had it.
That's a neat mechanic. I'd probably try to slap on something like that on dragons. Think about it, like black dragons really love swamp, so they should probably...
Yeah, they should get swamp advantage. Swavantage. You're in me swamp.
It has a damage resistant to acid, condition immunities to blinded, charm, deafen, exhaustion, frighten, and prone. Senses, it has blind sense to 60 feet and is blind beyond this. It has a passive perception of 8, so you could probably sneak up on it pretty easily. Doesn't know any languages, has a challenge rating of 1/4, 50 XP. It's amorphous and it can move through a space that is 1 inch wide without squeezing. Discreet bite, the bite of the Dipsa, I misread that because of the lighting, is barely perceptible, and the wound is quickly anesthetized. English. It's not working for. Yeah.
I think.
Creature bidden must succeed.
Succeed?
It's not helping my English.
I know, I'm trying to help you.
DC 15 Wisdom Perception. Check to notice the attack or any damage taken from it. It's translucent. The Dipsa can take the hide action as a bonus action on each of its turns. So that's pretty cool. It makes sense because it's kind of small and that's the only way it's really going to do anything.
Yeah, just disappear really quickly underneath the brush.
As an action, it has a bite, which is a melee weapon attack, +7 to hit. A reach of 0 feet, so unless if it's on you, it's not going to be able to get you.
Yeah, it has to be on you, which is really good.
One creature in the Dipsa space, piercing 1 damage, and the Dipsa attaches to the target. A creature with a Dipsa attached takes 1d6 acid damage per round per Dipsa. So you could have like a bunch of them and just keep stacking the damage.
Oh yeah.
And it must make a successful DC 12 Constitution saving throw or have its hit point maximum reduced by amount equal to the damage taken. If a creature's hit point maximum is reduced to 0 by this effect, the creature dies. This reduction to a creature's hit point maximum lasts until it is affected by a lesser restoration spell or comparable magic. So the first thing I thought when you were going through and reading the lore bit about it is it reminded me of the little worm-like creature centipede things that were in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones when Jango Fett was trying to assassinate Padme.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was the first thing I thought of, and I think it'd be really cool if some assassins had like a couple of them in like vials and they just discreetly
put them in there. That would be really cool.
That's how I would use the monster. And plus, it can get in small spaces too, so if you want to target dead, you use that.
Yeah, definitely. It'll slowly turn them to death. Wake up dead in our speak. Anyways.
Yeah, and if you got like a really high sleight of hand and you just slip it onto a person, it could be in a public place or whatnot, you could just walk by and be like...
Yeah, they would never know because it's anesthetized.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have anything else for it?
I think that's it for it. I also had the idea of like when you first described it, of like shooting it from an arrow, but that'd probably let you know, hey, that hurts. There's something, and then it would crawl on and bite. But
yeah, probably. Just imagine that.
Using the arrow concept, like let's say you had an arrow, but like you had a way to put a couple of them in like a little glass jar or something that would burst open, and so like you just shoot it up and just rain down.
That's a really cool idea. Definitely some chemical warfare, biological warfare bullshit that I really like. That's a good idea. But I have nothing if you don't.
Yeah, I just like the monster itself is kind of but I think it's really cool if someone were to use it.
Yeah, the ability to possibly use this creature against something else definitely gives it that extra ability of cunning and intelligence behind it, because not everything is just going to be just happenstance where you'll just happen across this creature. Nah, someone's going to want you dead if you're adventuring. Someone. So it might not be in the beginning, but by level 5 you should definitely have someone wanting you dead. And someone's going to know your name. That's just how I typically play it. But
yeah, I might use this creature in a campaign later on. And
I'll send you the
I'll just sit there and I'll just roll. If here's an idea. If a player has these attached on them, don't let them know. And just roll the damage in the background and keep track of it. Because they would not know, their character would not know. So I don't think the player should know. And then suddenly reveal that they collapse from this. And, well, if they collapse, they're dead. But I think that's the risk you take in that type of environment.
They should know that they're feeling sick at some point. Because, like, I don't imagine that your guts are turning into jelly and you wouldn't notice. I feel like you'd be feeling sick, at least. Like, you know.
That was the one thing I thought was kind of weird, is, like, it's saying your body is starting to, like, liquefy, basically.
But I don't see how your body could liquefy without other noticeable things. Because you're going to feel sick. Definitely. That's just a given. So I don't understand how that could possibly work. But hey, it's just, remember, we can homebrew that. So say my character got stuck with these, I would probably start getting sick, and you know, you're rolling that damage in the background. What happens if I go to shower, you know, and they're just on my back, and some guy goes, "What the fuck is that on your back?"
Yeah, that'd probably be the most likely scenario.
So it's like, probably it's like, you know, you slip this note to, say, Wesley, it's like, you see this on his back, and it's like, hey, what's on your back? And I'm just like, what? Huh? And it's like, then we have to figure out what the fuck is on my back, you know? That'd be really cool, just to fuck with the characters. But I have nothing else, to be honest.
Since we did the Oblex and how people experiment, the Mind Flayers mutated those, I think it'd be cool if
there was like a version of this.
Well, not like let's say like a mage or something messed with it to make its bite have other properties too.
So like
let's say if he somehow altered it to where if it's attached to you, you become charmed.
That would
you're
be
more
smart.
easily persuadable, and like
so you have
take
a
away
disadvantage on charms?
you could take away possibly this dying aspect, or you could leave it there and, you know, just use the person until everything's done and then they just drop dead.
Yeah, that'd be a smart idea.
Like a heist mission, you slap that onto someone you need to get in and find out whatever you need to know, and then they die and there's no evidence, they can't tell.
Pin it on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a really solid one. Anything else? Because you're coming up with all of them. I have nothing.
I think that's it. I really like the idea of
Someone using them.
Yeah. Mainly that, like, that's how I'd probably use this monster. It's a nice little, like, danger of, hey, you should always take precaution whenever you're in that type of terrain, because swamps.
Yeah, most definitely. It's like a leech.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when you first described it. It was just a magical leech.
This fly won't leave me alone. Yeah, it landed on me too. Anyways, I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
And this is Critical Failure. See ya.